Okay, so I am going to attempt a very long overdue video about the vocabulary that we use for a raptor cage in falconry. And those terms are weathering area and mews. So the weathering area needs to be a open space that is also protected on all directions. Sometimes falconers will just take their birds out and sit on a perch like Charlie's doing right now behind me on her bow perch, screaming at us. But the falconers that I learned from have a weathering area that's connected to the mews. If they're completely interconnected, they might just be called mews, but for the sake of learning here, I'm going to give you what I refer to it as and show you a little bit about it. All of this has to be inspected by the state. Depending on your state, in our state, it has to be inspected for safety and appropriateness in order for you to even have a bird. So I have, it's a modified dog kennel. It's about 10 by 10 feet. Is this my ideal weathering area and mews for Charlie? No, this is not my dream house for her. You have to be careful using chain link fence because they can catch their feet on it. However, after years of observing her, it has not been a problem for her. So like I said, this is a modified dog crate on the outside here. And then inside is a variety of perching materials. I've got some sawhorses here with different material on the top of them. I've got some natural branches. She loves these. She spends more time on the ground than most raptors. Sometimes if they're on the ground, it can be a problem, like an indicator of illness, but she just sits on the ground. It's probably because of her foot. Now, I just worked really hard to get as many leaves out of here as I could. It looks a lot better than it did. The leaves aren't going to hurt her necessarily, but they do grow bug larvae. They can mold, so I just feel more comfortable with them out of here. This shield up here was to prevent her from running at me when I came out of the door with food. She would stick her head through the chain link and like rub her nose raw. So this prevents her from doing that. She only needs it on the one side because that's where I come out, is in that direction when I have her food. And it's working. It's ugly, but it's working. The most common thing we use to block them from hitting wire is inside her mews. It has some poop in it. It has some feathers stuck in it. It is in use, okay? It is not my dream house for her, but we built it ourselves. And it was inspected and approved. So let's go in here. So I just realized this was on vertical instead of horizontal. So we are inside the mews. There is going to be poop. There is going to be poop. I just cleaned this completely out a few weeks ago. There is a little hole up there. This is not a house. It is a shelter. Please focus. Okay. It is not insulated. When it gets down in the like below 20 degrees, I do have an area that I bring her into, a perch indoors where she can be under a heat lamp, but still kind of outside. I have a kennel in the human shed where we do a lot of our filming, and we put her in there because we don't want her biological system to go crazy going in and out between 70-degree weather and 20-degree weather. So we put her in where she's out of the wind, where she can be, at least way above freezing and more comfortable. So the mews is considered an indoor enclosure for them. Like I said, this is in use. It's got lots of poopy, but we built it. It's sturdy. It's been through tons of wind and storms and rain and everything. We've got a double roof so that, even though it's not insulated, there is wood and then metal panels on top of it. So I have 3 perches in here. One is flat and wood. Someone I don't talk to anymore built that, but it is a really nice perch. I've got one back here. I tried to include one in places where she would go to shelter. This one is blocked on 3 sides from the wind. And I actually made it so that it's got different levels, since she tends to sit differently than most birds. I recently put this piece of paneling back here so that I didn't have to keep scraping poo off the walls. And then I have a perch by the window here that she can sit on it and look out a little closer to the window. She also, since I leave the door open for her to go in and out in between the weathering area and the mews, she also likes to perch up there. So I added a little piece of astroturf because, you know, perches they can wear down the feet even when an animal has good feet. So it's important to have a variety of perching materials. Now, I'm sure you're aware I inspect her feet all the time. Down below, we have some wire caging at the very bottom. And this is to prevent any animals from digging underneath the walls here and coming up into the cage. This includes rats, this includes raccoons. Even a large bird such as Charlie is gonna have a problem in the dark if a large animal comes in and tries to mess with her. So we always put wire on the bottom, and then some sort of gravel, pea gravel is safest. I have some river rocks because they don't fall through the holes of the wire on the bottom. Again, this is all for their safety. It's also for drainage. Obviously, there's going to be poop in here. There's going to be some leftover food. There's going to be, not leftover food, there's going to be processed food like her cast. And so this is what I currently have. I'm adding rocks as I go. I know it's not completely full. And then I was starting to talk about, hold on. I'm starting to talk about the bars on the windows. So this is PVC pipe. This is what we most commonly use for falconry mews. We have the wire and then this PVC vertical in front of it. So this is because we don't want them to crash right into the wire. We want a barrier that's not just the wire, a double barrier. But they also can't grab onto here. They would just slide down. So this is a soft surface. This is kind of poopy, I'm sorry. But this is a softer surface than the wire. Okay, it would prevent them from constantly hitting the wire, especially when they're new to you and trying to escape or something. So ideally, all of the windows would have the PVC in front of them. After I had Charlie fly off for a month, which you can watch all about that, I had a younger red tail in here that really needed those bars because he was very frightened and would scare off at anything. Let me take you back outside. Even the window on the door has these PVC bars. I don't like the gray as much, but they matched at the time. And then you can see the wire out here with the PVC. That sock here is a toy. She likes to tear up socks. I'll show you that in a different video. So the door does have two places to lock it. It's connected here, but it's got two places to lock it. We always lock up our animals, especially if there's close neighbors, just for precaution. People don't understand why I have them and what work I've done to have them. So that is her Mews, with all the safety features. Now, ideally, a weathering area would have the PVC as well. That's just not practical for me. Also, I know my bird. I know that she's, you know, gonna be fine with the wire. I make sure all the time that the wire is secure. She also has a water dish out here. It's just an oil pan. I'm gonna flip it over, clean it a little bit, and then fill it. She loves to bathe after her meal. So yeah, so that is her Mews and her weathering area. And now I finally have a video about that vocabulary, so I hope this filming turned out. Thanks for watching. If you can click subscribe, that would be wonderful. We'd really appreciate that. We're trying to build our community and teach about falconry and all the other crazy art and animal stuff we have on this channel. So thank you so much for watching. We hope you watch again. Please subscribe, and we'll see you soon. I can show you that a little bit as well. I forget what I was going to say. So the weathering area should, I'm sorry. something is beeping. Okay, it stopped.